Why do some men change their lives, while others spend 20 years learning, reading, watching, attending, and remain exactly the same? The answer is not discipline. The answer is not intelligence. The answer is not access to the right information. It is identity. And almost nobody is taught how identity actually changes. Until the identity changes, until the deep, quiet, operating belief the man holds about who he actually is rebuilt from the inside, no strategy, no information, no amount of motivation will produce a lasting result. This chapter explains exactly why. There is a man who knows exactly what he should be doing. He has read the books. He understands the principles. He has watched the videos, attended the seminars, taken the courses. He can explain the concepts to anyone who asks. And yet, nothing in his life has fundamentally changed. Not the finances, not the relationships, not the daily habits he has been trying to build for the last 3 years. Not the version of himself he keeps describing as who he is becoming. He knows everything and changes nothing. You know this man. You may be him. And the reason, the specific reason, that no amount of information has been able to reach is not a knowledge problem. It is a self-concept problem. And until the self-concept changes, the strategy will keep failing. The habits will keep breaking. The results will keep returning to baseline. This chapter explains the mechanism. The self-concept is not the ego. It is not the image the man projects to the world. It is not his reputation, his public persona, or the version of himself he presents in the room. The self-concept is the private belief held below the level of conscious thought, operating before the man has had the opportunity to decide about who he fundamentally is and what he is fundamentally capable of. It is the operating system beneath the surface-level software of ambition, motivation, and intention. And here is what makes it the most important variable in any man's life. The self-concept does not respond to what the man wants to be. It responds to what the man believes he already is. And until the belief changes, until the operating system has been genuinely updated, every attempt to change the output without changing the programming will produce the same result. The temporary improvement, followed by the return to baseline. The baseline of the self-concept the man has been running without examining it or choosing it since he was a child. Where does the self-concept come from? Not from the man's conscious choices. From the accumulated experiences, feedback, and interpretations of the first decade of his life, received from parents, teachers, peers, and the countless small moments in which the environment delivered a verdict about who he was, what he was worth, and what was possible for him. Most of those verdicts were not deliberately delivered. They arrived in offhand comments, in the quality of attention received, in the comparison to siblings, in the response to early failures, in the 1,000 small signals that a child's nervous system is continuously interpreting as evidence of who he is and what the world expects of him. The child cannot evaluate these signals critically. He does not have the cognitive architecture for that kind of evaluation yet. He receives the signal and files it as fact. I am the kind of person for whom things are difficult. I am the kind of person who does not finish what I start. I am the kind of person other people do not take seriously. I am the kind of person who was not quite enough, not quite intelligent enough, not quite capable enough, not quite worth the full investment of the attention and belief I was looking for. These filings are not consciously held. They do not feel like beliefs. They feel like facts. And the nervous system, the reticular activating system, the pattern recognition machinery of the brain, organizes reality around them with extraordinary consistency and extraordinary invisibility. The good news, the most important thing this chapter can say, is that what was learned can also be rewritten. The self-concept is not fixed by your genetics alone. It is shaped by experience. And experience can reshape it. Evidence can be changed. The story, the self-concept is reading, can be changed. That is what the rest of this chapter is about. Here is the mechanism that makes the self-concept the primary variable in any man's development. The self-concept functions as a thermostat. A thermostat does not care what the temperature should be. It cares what the temperature is set to. When the temperature rises above the setting, the system activates to cool it. When the temperature drops below the setting, the system activates to warm it. The goal is not a particular temperature. The goal is the maintenance of whatever temperature the thermostat is set to. The self-concept operates identically. When the man's results, relationships, or circumstances rise above the level the self-concept considers normal, the system activates to return him to his baseline. This is why the man who wins a large sum of money is usually broke again within years. His financial self-concept was set to a specific level. The money arrived above the setting, the thermostat activated, the money was spent, lost, or redistributed until the setting was restored. This is why the man who leaves an unhealthy relationship finds himself in an identical one within months. His relational self-concept was set to a specific dynamic. The relationship ended, the thermostat activated. A new relationship was found that matched the setting exactly. This is not bad luck. This is not a pattern of external circumstances. It is the self-concept thermostat doing exactly what it was designed to do, maintaining the temperature it was set to before the man ever had the opportunity to consciously choose what the setting should be. Think about the promise you made yourself last Monday, the habit you were going to build, the decision you were going to hold, the version of yourself you were going to become, starting that morning. Think about what happened by Wednesday. That was not laziness. That was not weakness of character. That was the thermostat activating, the self-concept doing its job with quiet, invisible precision, returning the man to the temperature it believed was normal for him. The strategy did not fail. The identity underneath the strategy rejected the results the strategy was producing. And the strategy had no answer for that. Because no strategy does. Only the identity work does. The implications are significant. It means that strategy without identity change produces temporary results at best. The man can learn better financial strategies. He can learn better relationship patterns. He can understand the principles of achievement at a level of intellectual precision that would impress anyone who heard him. But if the self-concept, the internal thermostat, has not been reset to match the results the strategy is designed to produce, the strategy will be undermined by the same system it is trying to improve. Not through conscious self-sabotage, not through weakness of character, through the perfectly engineered functioning of a biological system that was designed to maintain homeostasis, that is doing exactly what it was built to do, and that will continue to do it until the setting is changed at the level where the setting lives. Not the surface level of behavior, not the motivational level of emotion. The identity level, the deep, quiet, operating belief about who the man actually is. How is the self-concept changed? Not through affirmation alone. Repeating "I am successful" to a self-concept that is set to inadequacy does not change the setting. The self-concept does not respond to statements the man does not believe. It responds to evidence, to the accumulated weight of consistent actions that over time become incompatible with the old story and compatible only with a new one. The man who begins the daily practice, who shows up for himself consistently, who does what he said he would do before anyone was watching, who acts from the identity he is building rather than the identity he inherited, is not just changing his behavior. He is changing the evidence his self-concept is reading about who he is. And the self-concept, which responds to evidence, begins, slowly, quietly, in the way that all real change happens, to update. The thermostat resets, not because the man told it a different story, because he lived one. Your future is not built by your goals. It is built by the identity that quietly produces your daily decisions. Change the identity, and the daily decisions change without effort. The daily decisions change, and the results change without force. The results change, and the self-concept updates around the new evidence. The thermostat resets, slowly, quietly, until one day, the life that once required constant effort to maintain begins to feel normal. Not because the man became someone else, because he finally became the man his new self-concept believed he already was. There is a specific practice that accelerates this process, that delivers the new evidence to the self-concept at the level it can receive, at the level of the imagination, the emotion, and the daily language the man uses to speak to himself about who he is. But before the practice can work, before the new evidence can be delivered and received, the man needs to understand one more mechanism. The system in his brain that is currently filtering reality through the lens of his existing self-concept, accepting the evidence that confirms it and discarding the evidence that would contradict it. That system is the subject of the next chapter. This is the Power Within series. Volume 3, complete. The current runs through everything. The question is whether you direct it or let it drain.